Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Hardesty again, and today we're going to go on a hike to Burgess Falls. We're here at Burgess Falls State Park right outside of Cookeville, Tennessee, which is about an hour or so right just east of Nashville, Tennessee. Today I've got Phil Milligan with me helping me with the camera. Phil Milligan Photography in St. Louis, Missouri, and he does a fantastic job, so you're going to get an extra pleasure today, get to see some of his photographs. And I just hope you have a great time with me. We're going to start out by going over here to the dam and get some footage of the dam, and then we'll walk down to the trailhead, which is right here below the parking lot area, and go onto the trail. Okay, what you're looking at now is the dam that was built in 1929 to replace the previous dam that had been washed away by a flood. They built a road on the top of the dam this time, but it's no longer accessible. They built in the 1980s, they built a new bridge for the road 135, and they no longer use this one as a road, but it's still the spillway for the reservoir up above. Now let's head on down to the trailhead and check out the beautiful scenery. This is one of the first sights you're greeted by when you come down from the trailhead. This is just one of many of the beautiful falls working your way down the trail toward the large Burgess Falls. It's hard to describe the kind of beauty that you see out here in a place like this. This is one of the more rugged areas of the trail. A lot of root wads and stuff, but still plenty areas for good footing and nothing dangerous. A very well maintained trail. Now this is one of the parts where, even though there's steps, it gets a little rugged, because we're going to go down some steps, cross over a bridge, and then we've got to go up a real steep area of steps. But they're very well made steps. It's just going to be a bit of a climb. This is hard on an old fat man like me. Woo! That was a climb. This is the second major overlook area and the second major falls that you're going to see before you get to the big falls. This area is just referred to as the Middle Falls, and it's just breathtaking. Now we're going to move from the overlook of the Middle Falls on down the trail to the big falls. Well, in case you were wondering what all the big fuss was about, we're at the main overlook right now, right at the top of the big falls. These falls are about 130 feet tall. We're going to take a walk down to the very top of down to the river right up the top of the falls, and then we're going to walk down to the bottom of the falls. There's a nice trail going down to the riverbed at the top of the falls, and then there's a nice metal stairway they've made that goes 2/3 of the way down to the bottom of the falls. However, at the very bottom, there's probably about a 100-yard stretch that you have to climb down the rocky trail to get down to the bottom of the falls. And that is a pretty good climb, trust me. So it's not for the faint of heart, and it's not for little bitty kids or anybody with any mobility problems. But it is if you can do it, it's well worth the trip down. And we'll show you here in just a minute. Well, you've seen the top of the falls, and you can certainly see the power that is coming off the edge of that rock. We're going to head down. Right now they've got a metal stairway area right here. Concrete and metal goes down 3/4 of the way down to the falls, maybe even a little further. But it's a real steep stairway, great place to take pictures. But once you get off the end of this stairway, then one of the biggest problems you have to worry about is it's very steep, a lot of flat limestone to climb on, and when the breeze is blowing in the right direction, these limestone slabs get real wet. So you have to be very careful going down these things. Going up is actually, ironically, it may not seem like it, but going up is actually easier than going down. So be very careful if you decide to do this. I would not recommend this for small children at all. I have seen people with small children down here, but I would not. So this is old grandpa talking. In my opinion, I'd say for little bitty kids, that's not good. If they're a little bit older and they can roughhouse with dad and climb the rocks with dad, then that's okay, I guess. But just be very careful, and you can get a lot of great photographs and video without going all the way to the bottom. But I understand it's awfully tempting to go all the way to the bottom. Well, this is what the trail looks like going on down to the bottom of the falls. And the rocks are very wet. They're not always wet, but they are today. So you have to be very careful. We got some people here that I think are getting ready to come back up. So you can get an idea of what we're looking at here. But you can either go down this way, or you can come over here to the side and go around the corner a little bit and then go down over there. It's a little easier, but not much. This is a shot of the falls right before you start down the very deep and steep rocky climb down to the bottom. And we're going to give you a little footage here. And then when we get down to the bottom, I've got to be very careful with the camera, so I'm not going to be doing any filming doing that. And we're going to shoot you a bunch of footage from the bottom. And I can tell by the way the sun's coming up and around that it's just going to be gorgeous footage from down there. So I'll let the footage do all the talking. I figure you'd rather see that than listen to me talk anyway. was a heck of a climb, but we made it back up. The rocks are a little wet today, so if they're wet like that when you come down here, be sure and be careful. I'm here back up on the overlook above the big falls, and we just wanted to remind you that if you do want to just see the big falls and you don't think you're up to the full trail hike, you can come straight from the parking lot for about a 3/4 mile walk and come right down here to this big platform and still see a great shot of the falls. So come on down. I'd like to thank the park rangers for taking care of this spot for us, and certainly the Tennessee Wildlife Department for maintaining this trail, and all the Parks Department and all the hard work they do for keeping these trails up for us. You guys hang out and check out the website at the end of this video. You can find out more about Tennessee State Parks and great places to go hike and wonderful weekend trips, day trips, camping trips, whatever. Thanks for coming into Outdoors with Steve Hardesty. You all take care.